VanCam. This is VanCam you waited for. Back it up, Steve, back it up. Wicked, wicked. Jungle is massive. Yes, I am Kev Ashford, and you are very welcome to this week's edition of... It is the old VanCam, and all that leaves me to do is get rid of that. Smoking as usual, the guns are out, the sun is not out, but who gives a shit, because Man United beat Burnley 2-0. Few people said, Kev, it's because you shouted, come on United at the end of the last video. Maybe it is that, maybe it's something to do with football. Probably the latter, but a great win, and Man United finally turned up, put in some kind of performance that we could at least be happy with, because the pressure was on Mourinho. For 1 minute, I'm not going to start saying like, gonna be a scouser and start going, we're gonna win the league. You know, we might do, but we're not going to sing about it, and the majority of fans will probably think we won't, but at least it gives us a bit of a boost, you know what I mean? It didn't wreck me weekend or ruin it. I was quite happy that United had scored 2, hadn't conceded. My mate Marouane Fellaini, I'll tell you about that in Fellaini Watch, it's coming up shortly, but I think Luke Shaw goes from strength to strength. He's looking absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about Paul Pogba later on. So quickly, I'll just tell you what's coming up. First of all, we'll do Fellaini Watch. He had a good game. There's nothing I can say about him, man. Then the big VanCam debate. There is no sitting on that fence. Who wants to sit up there? Next up will be CockStroker of the week. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. And then your comments, where we look at what you shower of sarcastic bastards have had to say. And mainly, it's usually to do with me. And I'm not happy about it. But you're not pissing on my chips. Man United beat Burnley. I did say last week, Burnley's a strange town. People have 6 fingers on one hand and usually drop it on the sister. And you can look into that. I mean, you wouldn't want to go to Burnley, but listen, it's in the past now. We did them. We beat them 2-0. The heat's off Mourinho a bit. And the only thing that's a bit upsetting is the fact it's international weekend this weekend. You know, a 2-0 result like that away at Burnley, you just want the next game to come. And now, you know, we're going to have to wait till next week to actually play. Luke Shaw, I said it before, thought was fantastic. He's been great all season. I really hope he can kick on and produce this kind of form week in, week out. He's been really consistent. Can't really say the same about Paul Pogba. Lukaku gets his couple of goals. Things are looking good, and we've got a good run of games coming up. Positivity. Somebody said this channel just breathes, you know, oozes positivity, and that's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to slag people off unless it's Fellaini Watch. Yeah, well, do you know what? That's a perfect place to start. Let's crack into Fellaini Watch. Some say that at the weekends he actually performs at kids' parties as a clown and earns cash in hand, doesn't pay tax on it. All that we know is he's called Fellaini.
Tomine has it for United. Looking for Fellaini.
I am Marouane Fellaini, and I hope to Christ that I just scared the shit out of you watching. Obviously, I'm not Marouane Fellaini. I am Kev Ashford. This is the part of the show where we do Fellaini Watch. We look at what the big bushy-haired nipple licker has been at. What is wrong with me, man? It's when I put this hair on, all my confidence goes. I'm like the big man himself. But what I must say, my observation from the Burnley match last Sunday. Now, don't get me wrong, at the start, I hear Fellaini's in the lineup and I'm thinking, I'm not happy, you know what I mean? I'm looking for the dog. The dog's going to get booted across the room. The cat is going to get grabbed by the neck. Luckily enough, I didn't find him anyway, so don't go reporting any of this to the RSPCA. It's a non-story, it's a non-goer. Fake news, just all up here. Anyway, Fellaini did play, and to my surprise, I could not believe it. Like I say, I was a bit downbeat hearing he was in the team. Thought it sent out a negative message. But these 5 words I thought I would never put into one sentence altogether, and this is a first on VanCam. Marouane Fellaini, man of the match. That's 6 words. 6 words that I never thought that I would put into one sentence. It's a first on VanCam. It's a first on Fellaini Watch. This shit will not happen again. This is the first time it has ever happened. Marouane Fellaini was my man of the match. He had a good game. There's nothing I can say about him, man. He defended well. He's good on them corners. The ball never gets over him because he's that big. He used the ball all right. You know, he didn't give it away. He didn't dish out any elbows. He didn't get a bit giddy like that or excited. I'm listening to TalkSport the other day. United fans ringing in saying, we're a different team when he plays. You know, he makes us click. And I'm thinking, really? He makes us click? Is this what we've come to? Bollocks with that shit. You know my thoughts on him. Credit where credit's due. Fellaini was man of the match. And like I say, 3 years. What has he been here? 3, 4 years? Too long if you ask me. But anyway, there's his first man of the match trophy from VanCam, from Kev. And like I said, I can't imagine it happening again. He might prove me wrong. You can see what I'm doing here. If he's watching, obviously he uses it as his motivation. He puts my face on a dartboard, launches darts here. Obviously he'll miss because he's that shit. But this week, we embrace him. It's positivity on VanCam and in particular on Fellaini Watch, because Fellaini was my man of the match. And like I said, it doesn't happen often. So let's just embrace it, folks. That's Fellaini Watch. Get us some of that humble pie, Steve. So that was Fellaini Watch, the first time ever that I can actually credit the big man and say that he was man of the match. Probably the last. Who knows? Let's hope this fantastic form continues and he beats the shit out of everyone along the way, and so do Man United. Right, let's move into the next part of the show. It's the big VanCam debate. Last week it was on safe standing. I'll have the poll result from that. I'll explain everything you need to know next. And there's a new poll for this week. It's going to be centering around Paul Pogba and that fat twat of an agent of his, Mino Raiola. I have discussed this in the past, but I'm bringing it up again because it is relevant because of the recent comments that Paul Pogba's made about his future at United. So let's get into it. The big VanCam debate. Okay, this is the big VanCam debate. It's my job now to give you the poll result of last week's. If you didn't watch it, where were you? What were you at? Probably something really interesting. But anyway, last week's was on safe standing, and it was the big question. Are you for or against safe standing? This was following the announcement that the government are looking into it and they could give it the go-ahead, which I think is a great thing. I gave my argument last week. I can't see any problem with it. I said safe standing. It's in the actual name, so it's gonna be safe, innit? Yeah. Well, anyway, 100%, first time ever, an absolute colossal landslide. 100% of the VanCam community said for. Yeah. So that tells me a lot, should tell you a lot, and hopefully this gets implemented into English stadia. I think it'll be really good for the Premier League. It'll certainly be good for the atmosphere at Old Trafford, and any United fan that goes to Old Trafford will know that we need any help we can get, man. We had a singing section and that didn't even work. Anyway, this week we are going to do it on that knob rash Paul Pogba. I know knob rash seems a bit harsh. Let's call him a knobhead. And this is because he's come out, he's finally broke his silence. After the Mino Raiola tweet, his agent dissing Paul Scholes, he's obviously trying to get his Paul Pogba out the club. And for me, the sickening part of this is that Paul Pogba obviously clearly wants to go, and he's in with Raiola. There was no comment on Raiola. He didn't condemn the comments that he said. So we have to take it that Paul Pogba is actually agreeing with these tactics that Raiola's trying to imply and trying to get him out of United. So Paul Pogba's basically come out and said, I've got a contract at United. So I'm thinking, this is what I want to wear. But then follows it up with the old Cristiano, you know, minge tease thing where he goes, but you never know in the future. But Pogba actually said, you don't know what can happen in the next few months. So he's obviously looking ahead to the January transfer, and him and that fat twat Raiola are obviously planning and plotting to get out of Man United. The simple question this week is, if you were Man United manager, yeah, I could be, because I'm really, you know, I know my shit, I'm a football expert, but you put yourself now in the position of Jose Mourinho after the comments, all the shit that's going with this, the fact that Pogba really isn't playing anywhere near what he did for France in the World Cup, what he did at Juventus. We paid him a shitload of money for him. We're paying him a shitload of money each week. The simple question is, come January, would you sell Paul Pogba? It's a simple question. And to be honest, I'm getting that fucked off with him at the minute. I think I'm actually going down the route where I go, do you know what? Maybe Sir Alex Ferguson was right. He's certainly right about Raiola. But if Paul Pogba's teaming up with Raiola, you know, telling him, yeah, let's plot our way out, then no player is bigger than the club. And Paul Pogba certainly isn't. Yeah, he's got his own emoji, but who gives a shit? It seems to be an image thing with Pogba. I thought he did really well in the World Cup for France, obviously won the World Cup, but he managed to put all these shit haircuts to one side and focus on football. But now he's back at United. I think he's slipping back into that same old thing. I think he thinks he is bigger than the club, and nobody is. So in my opinion, I would get rid. At the same time, it kills me in a way because I know that's exactly what he wants, what Raiola wants. He wants all the United fans to turn on him and go, we don't need him anyway, you know, get rid of him. And he gets his wish. Raiola pockets more cash. But at this moment in time, taking into consideration everything you've heard from Pogba, from Raiola, would you get rid of Paul Pogba? There is no sitting on that fence. Who wants to sit up there? You look like a complete tit. Apart from the fact that if it's raining up there, you could slide off and someone's getting injured. And in fairness, if you sat up there, you deserve an injury. It's a simple yes, you would get rid, or no, you wouldn't. Explain your answer. If you were certainly going for a no, keep him. I'm interested to hear the reasons why. Maybe you will think, you know, Pogba, we know what he can do, and you're clinging to the hope that he can reproduce that form at Man United. I will let you lot know the poll result next week. So make sure you get voting. There's a little eye up here. Click on it. Drops down. Yes or a no. Just do that shit, man. The Big VanCam Debate. That was... Jesus. That was the Big VanCam Debate. As always, I always say it. I'm sick of repeating myself, man. Make sure you cast your vote. Oh, he's letting me go. Yeah, make sure you cast your vote so that we can give out the poll result next week. Next up, we're going to fly straight into a thing that we call CockStroker of the Week. There's loads of them out there. There's only one this week, so there's no other nominations. It was a bit of a landslide. Loads of people sent the winner in this week. Let's find out who it is now. It's CockStroker of the Week. Check your bad self.
CockStroker of the Week.
You alright? This is CockStroker of the Week. This week there was an overwhelming verdict. People were just coming at me from all angles. That sounds wrong. People were sending messages, you know, they were coming in on Twitter, the Facebook page at Kev's VanCam, and it was one person in particular who gets the #1 spot this week. And a massive thank you to the first person who made the nomination. There's too many to read out, but it was Sol Orison. So good, he's got like a double-barrel surname or something, but thanks to him anyway, he sent in and nominated this week's winner, which is Liverpool's goalkeeper, who's got a woman's name, Alisson. Now, he's one of these, you know, modern day keepers. They play out from the back. They can actually play football. Forget about saving the ball. It's all about being able to pass it out. Bollocks it is. And this is your classic example, because this will happen more and more with keepers like this. And how much did they spend on him? 456 billion, I think, if I'm not... I'm sure it's in the head somewhere. It's a shitload of money anyway. But here is the clip. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. These keepers who... What's he trying to... a Cruyff curd? A what? A Cruyff turn for? In his own area there. Even better was this Twitter account. This could have been CockStroker of the Week. In fact, we'll give it him along with Alisson. Ooh, Alisson. Anyway, this guy even claimed that that part of the pitch was the driest. So that's why Alisson had this kind of problem when he tried doing his Cruyff turn. Anyway, it all went tits up. Player takes the ball off him. It goes across the box. Leicester pulled a goal back. Oh, unlucky. It was in vain. I really hoped that they would have drawn the match and it would have cost them, but he gets away with it. That cheeky Cruyff turn bastard. Anyway, like I say, I'm sure he'll be in it more because he's going to try all these fancy flicks and somebody will be onto it, hopefully against United. We'll just have to wait and see, but that is your dose of CockStroker of the week. CockStroker of the week. God save the Queen! That was CockStroker of the week. That is what, £475 billion, all invested in one player who plays in net. That's what happens, and it's this thing, innit, of being able to play out from the back the Guardiola way. Look at big Spanish Dave, man. He don't give a shit. Just get rid of that ball. Don't be trying to do a Cruyff turn in your own box, you tit. Silly Scouse tit. Silly Scouse Brazilian tit. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to end with your comments. This is a chance for me to have a look at what you lot have been saying. I'm sure there'll be a lookalike in there. There'll be some piss taking going on. Ask me if I'm asked. I am a bit sometimes. Here we go. You can say comments of the week. It's your comments. Better than sitting up on the fence. Now it is time for your comments. You having that one? I thought so. Right, here we go. Here's a delve into the strange world of VanCam messages and comments. You can make sure you leave a comment on this video. It could get read out. I do, at the risk of repeating myself, if you get a message read out, it has basically changed lives. I've had people get in contact with me, basically breaking down in social media sort of type tears. You know, they just can't believe what I have done for them. If that made any sense at all, I don't actually think it did. First in was Brownwall, who said, so refreshing to see a United channel not spout negativity, which ultimately creates a divide. You're a real fan, Kev, and easily have the best fan channel on YouTube. You check lookalike bastard. I hope you don't mean Peter Check there, Brownwall, because that would be a cheeky comment to make. I tell you something, man, this man is fresh. Look at me. I'm like the Indominus Rex. Trend Photography said tactical analysis. Few exclamation marks. Love it, Kev. You cheeky tactical genius. This was because last week I introduced a new part which was called tactical analysis. You lot, for nothing, get inside this head, and the knowledge was like a fountain just spraying out. And you lot just lapped it up and everybody enjoyed it. And I'm happy. I'm glad that you all enjoyed it. It will be back at some stage. Won't be this weekend because it's international weekend. And Kev doesn't like international weekend. 666, that's the devil's number. Nicky Collis said Kev as United manager. See what the tactical analysis did last week? People are starting now, you know, Kev in. I'm sure I've seen that hashtag on Twitter. It might have been trending in Doncaster at one stage. Big things might happen, you never know. Kev could be the next manager. I'm not going to, you know, wait around for that phone to call. If they need me, I've got my mobile with me. Paul Johnson said the Glazers won't introduce safe standing areas unless it's profitable. Now, this is something in the Big VanCam debate earlier that I did touch on. I did say there was some comments where people think that the Glazers won't look at safe standing areas because of the profit value and the fact that people are saying that tickets for standing should be cheaper. Something to bear in mind, because we know that the Glazers are stupid Yankee bastards and they're all in it for the money, and that's all that matters. Normal folk like me and you, me and you know, they don't care about us. They want them people that come, spend a ball of money in the souvenir shop and all that, the full thing, stadium tour, this, that. Me and you, we're not looked after by them dicks. Black said, love your vids, keep up the good work, and one of these, which is a thumb up, which means it's good. And Lee at Logson on the Twitter said, yo, Kev. Yeah, yo. Did you see Michael Carrick carrying the Louis van Gaal? Final fact, Red Army! I did, mate. The funny thing was I was going to tweet about it at the time, but I don't like tweeting when the matches are on and that. And I'd saved that one anyway because it did make me laugh. I'd seen Michael Carrick and I'm like, Carrick's part of Mourinho's setup now. You know, is he on the training field teaching people how to pass? You know, and this and that. You know, maybe he's been assigned to Fellaini. You know, it's hard to believe it's not Scholes, and I don't mean Fellaini, I mean Carrick. Carrick might be saying, you know, this is how you pass a ball, this is how you stand up, you know, don't elbow people, shit like that. But yeah, I mean, that was a corker, and I see Michael Carrick walking out with the Louis van Gaal final facts. At least he's doing something, you know what I mean? He's earning his wage, man. Matthew Elfen. At Subtai72, just get some easy names to read out, man. On Twitter, sent in this. He said, spotted on first dates hotel. Hashtag VanCam. The voice is going, bastard! Cheeky bastard! Guy's got a ginger beard. I ain't got a ginger beard. Even in the natural daylight, you can see that this is dark, and that guy looks annoying. Which means that you're saying I'm annoying. I get it now. But you cheeky bastard. Telling you what people need to realise. I'm a man of the world, man. I might be in the Trafford Centre, you know, having a McDonald's, look around the shops. I'm taking mental notes of all these profile pictures of these people that are bullying me. And if I ever come across you, even in a public place, bad things are going to happen. I've said it before. Chinese burns, Fellaini elbows. You won't know what's hit you. Oh, who's this now? Alexander Martin Jones sent one through on the Facebook VanCam page at Kev's VanCam. See how I just dropped it in? Just dropping it in. He said, hey Kev, loved you in Train Spotting. Train Spotting? I wasn't in Train Spotting. But how on earth did you manage to shit the bed? Cheeky bastard! You're not getting any higher than that! Hey! Cheeky bastard! Spud from Train Spotting. And I tell you something, sunshine, apart from the fact that I look absolutely nothing like him, I have done some bad things in my time, but I have never shit the bed, you cheeky bastard! Anything else out? Ooh. Well, I tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, kids, cats and dogs, whatever is watching, I have never been so offended in all my life, you cheeky shower of bastards. And that is the comments read out for this week. Honestly, if international football gets on me tits, the fact United aren't playing this weekend and there's no Premier League football, that annoyed me. But them two lookalikes, they have seriously annoyed me big time, and I've nearly lost my voice in the process. Don't think the voice has ever hit high notes like that. I tell you something, for that, make sure, and especially you two and them lookalikes, you drop a like on this video now. You share the video however you can. You tell your mates if you're down the boozer. Have you seen Kev's VanCam? Yeah, he's a dickhead. There you go. At least you spread the word. Don't mind whatever you want to say. The Facebook page at Kev's VanCam. Just do anything, man. I'm a couple of subscribers off 2,100, and for that I want to say thank you to everybody who watches this absolute bollocks that is VanCam every single week. Thanks to all the regulars, everyone that gets involved in the comment section. There's Valindingham, Glass, Duncan Orb, oh, and the Wivenshaw Raver, David Conreen. I have received the emails. I've just seen them today, so I'll go through them. Hopefully there's some pictures or something to put up in next week's comment show. But to all the regulars, Viking Red, you know, the guy who puts everything in capital letters, he's an angry guy just shouting all the time. There's so many, I can't read them all out. Nicky Collis, everyone. I feel like I'm doing one of them where you're at the Oscars, you know. I want to thank God, the guy in the sky up there, for putting me in this van and making this possible. Right, it's international weekend. What a load of horse shit that is. Horse shit's actually good for some international football. You can dress it up however you want. This international league of whatever shit, that's what it is. They're trying to make it interesting. It's not just about bare World Cups and European Championships, but at the end of the day, you can't polish a turd. That's what they're trying to do with this. what is it called? I don't even know what it's called, but it sounds better than international friendly. Right, you lot have a fantastic weekend. United don't play until next week. It's Watford, so I'll be doing back to the drawing board for me. Louis van Gaal Filofax will be out, making notes on the opposition, you know, looking at why and how Troy Deeney lost 1 stone. These are the things that we need to know. I'll bring it to you, and then you'll have the knowledge to sit, watch the game and think, that Kev, he knows his shit. Have a good weekend, drink in moderation, and don't do anything I wouldn't do, which basically means go Chicken Oriental. See you next week, man.